and I keep that in this canteen pouch. Okay, now also on my back, on my belt on the very back, I have an open pouch. This is just a regular canvas pouch. It's open on the top. This is great for, well, like today we're just at the range. We might be shooting some. It's great for picking up brass and putting it in there, but in a survival situation, this is a great stuff bag right here on the back of my belt. And it's just an open canvas pouch. Again, hangs right off the belt. I got it from military surplus. And when you might have stuff that you may need to just grab, stuff somewhere, it's a nice big open pocket. Of course, things can fall out of it, but there's that. So that's it for the belt. We got room for a hip holster, thigh holster, sorry, right here if we need it. We got a toolkit, which I've designed to pretty much fix anything. And that's going to be, again, a picture of this. We have an open canvas pouch, we got a waterproof case, and we have a magazine holder here. Between this, I've got four magazines of rounds for my Walther, which would be on my hip. And we have magazines for my Glock as well. I'll show you how I would wear the Glock. The Glock is kind of aside from this particular vest. Now, I designed this whole kit from the point of view of a mechanic, because I used to be a mechanic. After I was in the Marines, I was a mechanic. Everyone has their own life experience, and everyone may have their own strategy at packing survival gear. My thinking was, in an event of civil unrest, an epidemic, whatever causes this kind of situation where people need to bug out and survive on their own, it's going to start in the cities, it's going to start in civilization, and my idea was to be able to have a car and stay mobile and keep that car running. Now, that said, my own ideas of what's necessary, I have as close to me as I can. Right here, we have some of those essential tools. Here's a simple screwdriver. It's a really cheap little screwdriver. It has interchangeable bits for a number 2 and a number 3 slotted, and a Phillips. So this is my go-to all-in-one screwdriver, and it's right here in this magazine pouch. These are my most essential, like, easy to pack tools right here. A small set of cheap, just little channel lock pliers, very small and simple. Also in this pouch we have a set of dikes. These 3 tools right here, as far as small tools go, I hope you can see this. As far as small tools go, this stuff right here is going to be kind of the bread and butter of a lot of what you're going to need really quickly if you have to grab something. Again, why so many tools? You never know what you're going to have to fix, what you're going to have to rig. We've got protection on us, easy to get to. We've got ammunition on us, easy to get to. This really isn't that heavy. And speaking of which, one thing I forgot to tell you about this vest, I've kind of customized it a bit, and I'll show you once I take it off. I actually have some pieces of IBA armor worked into it. Like right here, I have an IBA Kevlar, the neck protector. The main purpose that actually serves is it makes this easier to wear, and it's some pretty good padding. Okay, 1 second. What's up?
Want to fire a couple?
All right. Yeah.
Gonna take off here pretty quick. So. All
right, guys. My friend actually wanted to see if I want to fire a couple of rounds with his new 270. So I'm going to hand the camera to him. And I haven't fired one of these yet, so we'll see how this goes. This is kind of a surprise, and then we'll continue on with what we were doing. Not bad. Clear. All right, so that was a fun rifle to shoot. You may have saw I had some feeding problems there. I think it was the cause of that was reloaded ammo. It seems to be, but regardless, that was a pretty smooth little rifle. Let's get back to what we were talking about here. And now I can hear myself better without the Ear Pro.
See you later, man.
Yeah, I'll see you later. You have a good one. All right, so that was pretty cool. I had an unexpected guest here. So, essential tools right here, down here. And this is something I have packed throughout my Go kit, and that's paracord. I got about 100 feet of paracord, and I've got it wound up in various 30-foot reels here and there, because this is something that can literally be used for just about anything, is paracord. I don't see any reason not to have it right here on the front of my vest. Okay, now down here, knife. I got a lot of knives in this, and I think knives are something that are, a knife is the most basic tool, not only for self-defense, not even for self-defense, hell. Knives are handy for absolutely everything. I've got one here, as you may have seen. I also have one up here. I have a much larger one up here. This one's actually got a short enough blade that it can legally be concealed, and so I have it in this pouch. This one's much longer, more utilitarian, and this one's up here. Let's move on. All right, this pouch right here, we're gonna have a spare magazine for my Glock. I only have a couple mags for it, just a compact single stack pistol, and I got an easy to reach handy magazine for it here if I need. Down here we have another important tool, needle nose pliers. I just didn't have room for it in this pouch here. Needle nose pliers. Again, a lot of my strategy does focus around tools and fixing things. I think that's going to be a pretty integral thing to survival. That said, there is the survival gear you would expect down here in my pack, and we'll get there. Hoping it doesn't make this video too incredibly long. Let's go ahead and get my needle nose back in here. And then down here, we have one of several flashlights. Flashlights, again, I mean, that's a no-brainer. If you have a survival pack, then here we have a little compact, super bright LED flashlight. Nothing super special. In the future, I would like to try out and review specific products. This is just a no-name brand, little LED flashlight. You could get this at Walmart for probably like $5, and that's what I've got in here right now. That's pretty much it for this vest, although I would like to show you some of the features of it. Now, it has a bit of weight to it. It does. With the belt included, it's got a bit of weight to it. That's good. This is, like I said, this is weight that would otherwise be on my back. It's better to have it distributed around my body. It helps not only distribute the weight, as I said, but take weight out of the backpack, but it helps put weight forward, so I'm not being pulled back when I'm humping with this. So here we have, again, this is a Kevlar neck armor from Interceptor Body Armor, IBA, and I have it attached with snaps. It helps take some of the load off, it helps pad this, and if a zombie were to try to bite my neck, well, I'd be good. Let's go ahead and put this vest back down, and let's have a look at the backpack. We're going to have more kind of survival stuff in here. Now, I try to keep in mind what I need to grab and how accessible is it. All right, the backpack's a little heavier than the vest, obviously. Now, first and foremost, right on the front of the pack, we have a MOLLE first aid pouch. This is a standard trauma kit like you would see an Army medic have. Let's go ahead and see if I can open this up. Now, I don't have anything in here yet. Like I said, this is still kind of in its infancy. But this is going to be, this is a full-on good trauma pack. We're going to have serious medical supplies in here. And it's right here. It's easy to get to. And in the case of an emergency, you can rip it right off the pack. Despite the fact it is fastened with MOLLE, like everything else is to this pack, you can rip this right off. And that's also why I have this strap here to keep it in place, to keep it from accidentally getting ripped off. Sorry if that was out of camera. This thing's getting a little heavy. It's a little heavy to hold in front of you. All right, here I have rubber gloves, which are actually kind of part of this. They're in a separate thing right now. Some of this stuff is going to move around. Why have these in their own separate magazine pouch? Again, I keep in mind not only the stuff that I may need to grab instantly in a survival situation, but I try to keep stuff which has a danger of being punctured away from stuff that could puncture it. So a lot of that kind of stuff is on the outside of my pack.